Good evening, all you plastic model builders out there. This is Dan Leone, Plastic Model Building 101. In today's build, we're continuing our build of the Messerschmitt Bf-109E email. It'll be Desert Camo, and the kit is Tamiya 1/48 scale. In my previous clips, I've gotten a few hits, and also I've gotten a few comments and people that have subscribed to my YouTube page. And I just want to say thank you, and I welcome all your comments. So I hope I'm giving you the right, adequate information as far as model building and references and things like that. So anyway, I just want to get that out to everybody. Now, today, in our last clip, we talked about prepping the model for painting and also for assembly. And the very first thing we did was we took the parts out of the plastic bags. And I don't know if I said this in the last clip, but with the plastic bags, for those of you who have little kids and so forth, get those plastic bags and throw them away in the trash. That way little kids won't take them and put them over their heads and suffocate themselves and so forth. You don't want that. Okay, so can't say I didn't warn you. So okay, we washed our parts in lukewarm water with a mild dishwashing detergent called Dawn. Why do you want to do that? Well, because when they're injected into these molds, before that's happened, the molds are sprayed with a mold release agent. It's an oil-based product. And anyway, the hot plastic is injected into the molds, then it's cooled, and then they take the parts and pieces out of the molds. And the molds are coated with a fine, oily sheen. And the way to get that off, you want to use a mild dish detergent, Dawn, or I can also recommend Plastic Prep by Testers. You can get this at any hobby shop. You can also order this online. I got this at M&M Hobby Shop in Houston. So the Dawn soap, you can buy that at any supermarket, dollar store, any supermarket like well, I don't know what kind of supermarkets you might have, but in Houston we have Kroger, Randall's, we have dollar stores and so forth. So anyway, as you can see, I took the parts and pieces out and let them drip dry overnight. Unfortunately, I had a trip in Beaumont for about a week and I didn't get a chance to, but this time we're going to start painting our parts pieces. Now, I like to have the parts on the remaining on the trees because that's a good way you can hold them and so forth. So I'd like to paint while the part is still on the trees. So the paint we're going to use, this paint is called Model Master Acrylic. It is a water-based paint. I like acrylics more than enamels because acrylics are easy to clean up. All you use is distilled water. Unlike enamels, you have to use thinners, and it's just a mess. So, like I say in the military, KIS, keep it simple, stupid. So, or keep it simple, sir. Basically, I just say KIS. So, the cockpit interior, most German aircraft were painted an RLM02 gray, or grau as they call it, translation gray. So this is the RLM02 that we're going to use, and this is the model Master Acrylic. Now, before you don't want to put your paint inside your airbrush. You have to thin it. Why? And you have to thin it and you have to strain it. Why? Well, the main reason why is because you have to thin it to break it down, and you want to have an adequate paint ratio, because you don't want it too runny, and then again you don't want it too thick. If it's too runny, then guess what? The paint's going to be translucent, and not only that, but if you do it too thick, it's going to clog up your airbrush, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. Also, over time, paint, sometimes it settles to the bottom, has all kinds of gunk and everything. You want to stir all that up to make sure that it's all nice and clean. So anyway, what I like to do, I like to shake it up really good. And for those of you who have any type of paint shaker or something like that, that's fine too. I always try to shake this up, kind of get everything mixed up together. So I always want to do that. I have here a cup full of distilled water. You always want to use distilled water other than tap water. Distilled water, it's cleaner, and because tap water, when you just get it out of the sink, you're going to have all kinds of chemicals that could react with the paint. So anyway, we just and also make sure your bottle caps are screwed on tight, because if not, you're going to have paint splatter all over the place, and you don't want that. So continue on with that. We unscrew the cap. Okay. Now what I like to do is I have an eyedropper. I have my distilled paint. Make it full of water here, and I do like maybe about 2-3 drops. We'll do just 2. Well, I did 3, so 1 for luck. Okay, and we'll take our paint. And we'll shake it up real good. Okay, now I have some paint strainers here, painter strainers. You can get these at any Ace hardware store. And what I like to do is just cut the bottom here and put it in the mixing cup, and then I'll just take an eyedropper and fill the cup up with paint inside my airbrush and go to town. So, okay, we're going to stop here for now until I get everything set up. So this is Dan Leone, Plastic Model Building 101, building the Messerschmitt Bf-109E. And stay tuned for my next episode.